Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome. It's Chris for another edition of Scentland, and today we're going to be looking at an English, traditional old English house, designer house that is usually coming up with quite nice fragrance releases and has some classic ones as well. The most recent ones are unfortunately getting more and more synthetic, and you know, quite frequent as well. So you know, every year there is a release. I'm talking about the house actually of Alfred Dunhill or Dunhill, and I have quite a few fragrances from them, and in 2011 there was a fragrance coming out called Costume, and I have to confess, I have to admit, I became a victim of marketing, and I liked, you know, I sooner followed, you know, what's going on, because there was a fragrance called Pursuit before that, 2006, and I really like the fragrance. That fragrance is amazing. It's really good, although it's synthetic, but it performs well. It's quite unique as well, and it's great smell and, you know, great price versus quality ratio. So I was quite happy to see that something like Pursuit is coming along the way, which seemed like a, you know, in its presentation, it seemed like a Gucci Pour Homme 1 sort of release, well, let's introduce the fragrance and then I'll continue. Set the stage open for Dunhill Costume. Unfortunately, there's not much of applause, I can tell you already. This stage here, there you go. Here's the fragrance. Here's the box. It's very nice, you know, the traditional Dunhill logo there. Everything is like, you know, it's explained, the notes are explained, and things, you know, it's very nice. Here's the bottle. Look at that. Heavy glass bottle. Nothing written on it really. The bottom is very nice with the logo there again in the basically in the glass as well. And heavy. It's very heavy. Look at the color of the juice, and the cap is quite heavy. And look what they did when I said I went for marketing. You know, you had the chance. Normally you get the fragrance like this, but you had the chance through the website to order the top metal part here is replaceable. So this was like a normal one without anything written on it, and you could order a tailor-made, a custom-made one, right, with your own initials. So I went for it. You know, I went for that cheap trick, and then it arrived. You know, very nice package again. This little metal thing here, and then I just you replaced it with the initial one that was, or the original one that was in there, and then you had your own initials in your fragrance. You know, it's your custom-made signature fragrance. That was the idea, and the whole color and the presentation. They all fooled me. They fooled me back in 2011 because the fragrance itself, and I'm really not happy spraying this at the moment, I have to say, you know. Sprayer perfect. Sprayer is perfect. And it says on the box that the top notes are crisp English pippin apples, actually. Crisp English apples, it says pippin apples, the red apple, right? And then spicy black pepper, cedar wood, and precious incense. You think that, good God Almighty, this must be nice. Initially, you get a fresh apple vibe of this fragrance, which is not even bad, but you can tell that I don't know whom has worked on this fragrance, but I don't know the nose, I don't know the parfumier, but maybe it has been somebody who, you know, who's just, or maybe just they just sort of thought, okay, anyone here who can mix a fragrance together? You know, we have all the presentation, all the marketing, and all that shite ready. Anyone? Joe? No? Joe? Mike? Can you help Joe and just mix up something that, you know, the color should be nice, you know, and then, you know, I think it must have been like this, which is a shame. If you look at the house of Dunhill, the tradition and all that, because the fragrance, and I'm rarely doing a negative fragrance review, right? This fragrance is, don't want to say any negative words really, but it's disappointing, put it that way, you know. I wanted to say crap or shite, but I don't say that, you know. I would never do that. It's just disappointing. Why? You get the apple right, which is not even that bad, you know. It's sort of, it has sort of a freshness to it, and then a very extremely cheap black pepper note in there, and then some sort of a try of imitating incense and some woodiness that all don't really blend well together. It's all becoming a sort of semi-fresh, utterly synthetic, sticky, sweet, as if you walk on a street, right, and there's a lollipop on the street, you know, and then you step into the lollipop, you know, and then it sticks to your shoes, and you get home, and then you smell it, and that's the smell you get, this sweet, synthetic mess, I'd say, you know. It's I totally don't, and I apologize to, you know, to anyone who likes this fragrance. I even apologize to Dunhill for doing this review, but you know, I went for the marketing, and I expected something, you know. I even went for the bloody cap, you know, which cost me, again, time and money and whatever, and I was totally up for it. But I really fell from a cliff, you know, into the deep water with this experience. It's just, and then the guys, girls, it gets even worse afterwards, because the performance is a pain. Performance of this fragrance is one of the weakest that I've come across. It's just, it disappears in approximately 40 minutes. It's just not, and the sticky, sweet, fresh, semi-fresh, you know, and then this black pepper note is just a pain. I have to be honest, you know. Usually, as you know me, maybe usually I'm quite energetic and enthusiastic in my reviews, you know, especially if there's a fragrance that I really like. And most of the fragrances that I have in my collection are actually fragrances that I'm, you know, attached to in some way. But this one, you know, I'm sorry, man. It's just, you know, there's nothing to talk about. You know, you know, age group. And what's the age group for a sticky, semi-sweet mess? There's no age group. No, it just doesn't work, man. Just don't get this fragrance. I mean, you know, I don't want to go into further details because it was really a disappointment. Because everything was so nice. Why couldn't you ask Christine Nagel or, I don't know, you know, anyone who, Norbert Bijawi, or anyone who has done some great stuff, Christine Nagel with pepper. If you need to put in black pepper there, ask her to do it, and she would have done an amazing fragrance. But I think this has been sort of like mishmashed together, and it's really disappointing. So I'm sorry, don't want to be negative, but it's not a fragrance I like, and it's not a fragrance that I can recommend, and so therefore I'm sure it was aimed for a mature man who is aware of his style and is above 30. This is his signature fragrance, and it's heavy and it's well designed and it's, you know, rich and all that. It all falls into the garbage bag like that. So unfortunately, it's a no-go. Thanks very much for reviewing anyway, and I'll be back with a more positive review very soon. But unfortunately, sometimes there are fragrances, you know, that I encounter that are just not good. So I have to tell you this way, you know, the truth, the naked truth. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.